So it's been a minute, but where do I start? Let's see. Should I start with the Australian news of how the Australian cops somehow managed to shoot the good guy after 20 minutes of doing nothing while people are getting shot? Or should I talk about the fact that the Ford Lightning is no longer going to be produced because it was like a $19 billion failure? Or, I don't know, maybe I should talk about all the shootings and the violence and the mass craziness that's going on. Nope, unfortunately, I guarantee you're probably going to be more interested in the conversation on Candace. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Ripple Effect. So to start off with, I do kind of want to mention the fact I think it was odd and crazy that there's almost like a mental block in Australia for their cops. Why in all these countries where guns are not very prevalent, do they just not seem to be very brave either? It definitely seems to be the strategy in Australia. And it was sad, the fact that there was 20 minutes of time between the start and end when they actually got themselves involved, and then they ended up shooting the guy who was trying to take down the Muslim terrorists. And then that's not even the worst part of the whole thing. The worst part of the thing is the PM comes out and then calls it a right-wing action. And that's the part that irritates me, because the violence itself is absolutely horrible, wicked. But this is what's been going on everywhere, where anything that's done is labeled right-wing because they hate us. They hate you, and they want to blame you for everything. They want to blame you for everything. And it's absolutely garbage. Now, I was going to go into some more things, but I've been super busy, actually. I've been making, let me see if I can pull it up here, guys. I've been making knives for Christmas. Decided to get a little handy, and we'll see how. I made this really cool knife. I have like a farrier's rasp. I know you're probably not caring or not interested at all, but man, it takes a lot of work. And so I apologize that I've not been around to make a video. But I wanted to get into the Candace thing. There was supposed to be a big thing happening on Monday. On Monday, there was going to be this big thing where TPUSA and Erika Kirk were going to take down Candace, and they were going to respond. And it was going to be this big deal and this big thing. But unfortunately, it didn't end up happening that way. They had a private conversation and a private meeting, and nothing good ever comes from private stuff. And the result from that is kind of what you would expect, and that is that no one actually changed in their mindset. Sorry, I had to do a hard edit there. Unfortunately, kids were making noise in the background and trying not to do that. I'm trying to make it just consistent. But I want to mention, okay, so Erika has this private meeting with Candace Owens. And really my question is, what good can come of that? What real good can come of that? And the weirdness from the Candace Owens people. They were like, are you alive? Are you okay? I'm sure Erika probably murdered you on the spot. Like, it was so weird. It's so sycophantic. It's so cultish. It's so stupid. And that all to come out of nothing. Basically nothing. Candace is not going to go as hard against Erika, basically, is what's coming down to. And it kind of strikes me as I was wondering why this was that way, and why would you meet with someone like this? Why would you meet with someone who's accusing you of all this stuff? Like, that's just wild. And then come to find out, John Christ, a comedian, I guess was invited to a meeting where a lot of these people were together for a Christmas party. And he said he sat there and he noticed how many of these relationships are so intertwined. And you wonder why, and I had mentioned this, why these commentators don't talk about Candace Owens. And it's because they're all so buddy-buddy behind the scenes. And what's funny is it seems like the only one that's not really a buddy-buddy with them is Tim Pool, who's finally coming after her, which I good. She should be sued her pants off for all the nonsense that she said. But then the question becomes, can you trust your commentators? When they're all behind the scenes being all friends together, what are they doing? So they just have this algorithm thing figured out where they can get the rating thing figured out, where they can get massive audiences figured out, and they know how to work together to drive up the ratings. But they can't, tell you the truth because they're afraid to tell you the truth, because that'd be throwing their friend under the bus. And even though they're willing to, use that kind of stuff for the ratings, they're not willing to do that because they're friends with them. That's what you won't get here. You're not going to get that kind of nonsense here because, one, I don't have that kind of friends. So that helps. But join us. We can make a difference one small step at a time. We're almost to 100 subscribers. You can get honesty here, get more people to subscribe. That would be nice. It makes it a little bit easier for me and for everyone to get it out there. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll tell you the truth. And if I do something wrong, I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you. But thank you so much for watching The Ripple Effect. Like, comment, and subscribe.